And welcome back. Welcome back. Again, a very short break here as we are just catching up with what has been going on. We are merely, I think, like 15 minutes behind or something. The live broadcast. So we are catching up. We are slowly catching up, and we have our next series. It's going to be Shopify versus Weibo Gaming. And up first, we have ByuN versus Hero. Ooh, a banger of a TVP going to be taking place on Golden Aura. Let's go. Banger of a TVP. And we are going to be jumping in. Again, Hero is the ace player of Weibo Gaming. Meanwhile, ByuN, the ace player of Shopify. And sporting in the top left-hand corner, we have ByuN for Shopify Rebellion. And in the bottom right, we have Hero for Weibo Gaming. Here we go. Now, when it comes to the standings, Shopify and Weibo are quite close. They're actually neck and neck. Both teams are 7-2. Both teams have 7 wins and 2 losses. Their differential is merely map score dependent. So this is a very important series, a very important best of 7 between Weibo Gaming and Shopify. Both teams, I believe, are confirmed for the playoffs, but standings does matter, and the higher ranking you are, the less you have to play in the playoffs, which is ideal when it comes to the stamina of your players and the endurance of your players as well. Here we go. We'll be embracing that TVP. ByuN opening up double gas. Interesting. Double gas open out of ByuN is going for a faster factory, a delayed CC. Hero does confirm the faster gas. The other important thing as well is that Hero has been absent. Hero has been intentionally not competing in online tournaments. He's been skipping out on ESL Asia, ESL Americas, Kung Fu Cup, and KSL. Hero did announce on Discord that he was intentionally avoiding online weeklies to prepare for EWC. Now, WTL is a little bit different. World Team League is the most important team league here in StarCraft, so Hero will have to play in these matches, but again has been for the most part hiding and making sure he's out of the limelight here to prepare for Esports World Cup. It's not just Hero. Cura's been doing the same. Serral, of course, as well, but Serral, he always just avoids, weekly tournaments for the most part. And if you remember a couple of days ago, yesterday we were casting Cure in his Team Liquid match, and I was saying the same thing. I was like, yo, we rarely see Cure nowadays. Like, he's been hiding and preparing his builds for EWC. I'm curious what his form is like. And then he came out and he 2-0'd Classic. Like, he was crazy. Cure, he popped off versus Classic. Did pop off. So I'm waiting to see Hero do the same. As we are settling in, is going to be the add-on swap for our initial Cyclone production. Meanwhile, Hero opening up Stargate. Bold move. Stargate open out of Hero. It's a little bit risky. You do leave yourself a little bit vulnerable. There is potential for especially a longer game if we embrace Phoenixes, or we could open up Oracle. We'll keep an eye on Hero. We'll keep an eye on him. We are going to be settling in. Now we do have ByuN going for a third CC. Oh my god, that I was not expecting. It was a double gas opener into a double expand. The first CC is not even done, but a very fast third CC alongside the first one. So ByuN double expanding. He's crazy. He's wild. And we'll see if he can get away with it. Just a risky maneuver here out of ByuN. Very risky. As we do see Hero going to be opening up with our initial Phoenix. First CC is now done. Tank production has begun as well for ByuN. Have begun those tanks. But this is all just defensive play out of ByuN. Just because of his fast third base, he's just settling down. Settling in and hunkering down. Meanwhile, Hero opening up Phoenix into a Robo. This should be the beginnings of Phoenix Colossus, but it's not about the opener of Hero. It's about whether or not Hero can scout what ByuN is doing and punish him. If not, ByuN is going to snowball out of control in the mid game. Like, that fast third base is going to pay off so much and so well. If we don't punish it, it's going to be the end of Hero. So the pressure is on. And there's that Bay on the way. Again, Phoenix Colossus from our Protoss player. No surprises here. Is going to be embracing that Colossus play. And modal production has begun. So it's going to be a safety modal first, then when the Bay is done, then we can start up the Colossus. And you can see the Hero, he's just being very defensive with those Phoenixes, a little bit afraid of any kind of drop play. I don't blame him because of the double gas opener. It makes sense for there to be drops out on the map, but there are none because there's no starport. So these Phoenixes have been a bit of a waste. They haven't really been able to harass, they haven't been able to get a read on what's going on, they haven't been able to scout. Adept is doing what it can, but ByuN has gotten away with murder. And it may not look like it yet, just because the third base has not gotten up and running. It's done, it's morphed in. But once it lands, I mean, that's when we can really pop up. Phoenixes move out. They do finally move out. And that checks the natural. Phoenixes rotate, they should be able to get eyes on the CC that's already done. Whether or not Hero recognizes how early this was, I mean, that's a different question. So do dip in and going for the mineral line. We do need some economic damage. SCVs are going to go down. We get 2. Not bad. 2 SCVs do fall. That is some damage being dealt. Back at home, Hero getting to his 3rd. I like the idea of Hero rushing to a 4th. His 3rd base isn't even done yet. There we go. 4th base is on the way. This is a way to counteract the greed of ByuN, is to be greedy as well. Counter greed with greed. We get 3 SCV kills. So we got 2 with the Phoenixes, 1 extra with the Adept. 4th SCV goes down. Don't lose any Phoenixes yet. 5th SCV. Oh, ByuN with the calm down. Almost does kill his own add-on. Hero sharking around. But this is good damage. Again, 5 SCVs. We contain our opponent. We take a very fast 4th, or much faster 4th base. So far, this is good. But we're hoping for more damage. As ByuN is now going to be landing his own 3rd base. Phoenix is being active. Being active, are rotating around. And what I appreciate out of Hero, I don't know if you noticed, but he's been skipping warp-ins. Like, Hero has the Immortal, has 2 Colossus, and has a handful of gateway units, but he has been skipping warp-ins. He's been focusing and he's been cutting corners. He's been taking up into a Temple Archives, he's been taking up into +1, into Charge, into a Gateway Explosion. Yeah, just now Hero is warping in. But basically Hero, he recognizes the greed of ByuN and he's trying to be greedy himself. He's trying to cut as many corners as he can. Setting up for a Zealot run-by. Storm is on the way. Storm getting to +2. You can see that ByuN now supply-wise, this is where the 3rd base really kicks in, as he does exceed the supply of Hero, which is often not really seen in this matchup. Well, not this quickly. And we should be looking at skyrocket ahead. But again, Hero keeping up with the greed. He's been skipping those warp-ins for the most part. And it should soon be settling into a 4-base economy. And once he does, then Hero can focus on his army production. Storm is on the way. Blink. 5th Nexus as well. Hero going for the ninja base. Oh my god. Hero. Calm down. is going for the ninja. We'll see if he can get away with it. I mean, he has map control, so, I mean, there's no reason not to. No reason not to expand in such a manner. And really, it's both players just building up. Both players are just macroing on up. No major move outs. Not yet out of ByuN, as he's contained because of the Phoenixes. 4 CC is now done for ByuN. Going to be landing it on the right-hand side. Ghost production already well underway. Vikings are in production as well. So ByuN is refining his army, and both players are about to max. It's all about how we make use of these armies. Hero beginning disruptor production. Second robo is on the way. No disruptors yet. I think he's maybe got one. But he does have Storm. To pull away. High tail in the charge. Ooh, massive Storm! Oh my god! A massive connection there for Hero. The army very softened up. And we still have more Storms. More of a zoning Storm there, but we actually zoned the army away from the 4CC. Yeah, another zoning Storm. No big connections, but that will be a kill on the 4th base. A very big pickup. Hero knocks down the Nexus. That's all he wanted. And now we can get the hell out of here. Behind this, we're taking up into Sky Toss. 2 more Stargates to the Fleet Peak, and we're ready for Carriers and Tempest. We're not there yet, though. We're not there yet. As Hero is killing his own Colossus at this point. He's freeing up supply. The time for Colossus has come and gone. It's all about the Disruptors, the Bulls, and the Sky Toss. Let's go. Never going to be going off. Takes down a tank. Tank goes down. Hero rotating towards the right-hand side. ByuN will chew up a lot of those Zealots. Storm zones away the Bio. Also the Bio away. Likewise, ByuN able to keep up. We can see once again here he's killing his own units, freeing up supply for the Carriers. Carrier production has begun. Never going up. Ooh, does not connect. Whew, that was close. The disruptor is targeted. As both ByuN and Hero are posturing. The map is being cut in half. We're going to be embracing a longer game. Let's go. We're settling in. Settling in towards a much longer game here. So I'll say do hit that northern CC. Well, they do get into the mineral line. Bring down the missile turrets. Turret goes down. ByuN shocking around as well. Does thread the needle. Never goes off. Ooh, big connection. A worthwhile trade for Hero. Nexus is going to fall, but not the most important Nexus for Hero. Oh, massive EMPs though. Yeah, ByuN gets us around. He collapses on the Immortals. The Immortals go down. Massive pickoff. And the Carriers are revealed. ByuN is now aware. Pulling back, investing into more Vikings. 3-3s on the way. Again, that was not a bad trade here. Not a bad trade out of ByuN. He is hoping for more. So now he has to back off. He has to embrace more Vikings, getting ready for the Carriers, getting ready for the Sky Toss. Decent Storms. Storms do connect. ByuN catching at the Archons. Again, we're still just refining our armies. Do you want to get rid of some of this supply? Now, the downside for Hero, of course, is going to be his army is going to be less mobile. True. But that's what we need a mothership. So we have 2 recalls. The mothership is out. Do need to make use of those recalls. Hero rallying his army together. Nice EMP on two of those High Templar. Likewise, we get the counter feed max. Hero moving out, consolidating his forces. Headed towards that 3rd base. Vikings are amassing. And we do commit in. Disruptors, they do fly a little bit too close to the sun. Disruptors go down. Not a single Nova went off. A bit of miscontrol there out of Hero. Losing every single disruptor. Decent feedbacks. Where is the splash damage? Again, without disruptors or storm, like, this army is quite fragile for Hero. And I'm concerned he's only got 2 High Templar. I guess a decent storm. He's got 1 more here. 1 more in the chamber. Pushing in, storm zones away the army. And there we go. Speaking of, I'm like, Poppy, where's the splash damage? Here it is. We go for a big warping of High Templar. You wanted storm, we got it. We got plenty of it. Mothership goes down. And Templar pushing forward. We do need to split them up. I am concerned that they are a little bit too bunched. Oh, massive EMP. 1 storm connects. But most of the High Templar, they get caught in 1 EMP. Brutal. Suddenly, barely any storms left. Oh, gets another EMP. Oh. I think we're down to 2. I think we're down to 2 High Templar that can storm. From, like, the 10 that we had earlier. Archons have morphed in. I mean, Archons can hold their own, but they're going to be focused on massive storm. Oh my god, that was a juicy connection there. On ByuN's army. Ay, ay, ay. And is that barely going to be enough? As here, he zones ByuN away from his own planetary. At least he's trying to. Here, 1, 2 carriers go down. 3 carriers go down. Massive pickups here with the Vikings. And every carrier will fall. There's just no storms left. No splash damage. That's what I was concerned about. We did run out of High Templar. We did run out of storm. And we cleaned everything up. Very patient play out of ByuN. And again, Hero did bunch up those High Templar a little bit too often there. A little bit too much. And it was like 2 EMPs. Got every single High Templar. It's crazy. And now there's nothing left. There's nothing left. ByuN is still out of control. If you want to, we can push up the ramp. There's nothing stopping him. We can just commit up. Nexus does fall. Hero going to be reinforcing with Zealots and Disruptors. We have a lot of supply tied up in these Vikings. But we are still making carriers. Still making 3 carriers at a time. So we don't want to throw the Vikings away. They have their place. Their place in this game. Oof. Good EMP on the Stalkers. Nice EMPs. ByuN rotating around. From here, ByuN back. So both players are going to be able to remax. We have very different army compositions now. I believe that there aren't any High Templar. It's mainly Disruptor. Oh, my apologies. There are some High Templar, but mainly Disruptor. Mainly Disruptors for Hero. Likewise, his SC2 army, I think he's got around 5 carriers. Not as large as it once was. Still decent. But our army compositions are adjusting to what we have. Zealots will clean up these Marauders and the Cyclones. At the same time, Vikings are sharking around. I still feel like we might have too many Vikings, but we'll see. Nova's going off. Vikings, they collapse on the Mothership. Mothership goes down. High Templar as well. We get an okay storm, but once again, the Vikings, they dominate this. They dominate the skies. 1 carrier left. 0 carriers left. Decent Nova. Takes down a Ghost. Liberators have arrived. Trying to take control of the ramp. But as we mentioned, that's so much supply tied up in Vikings. We have to get rid of it. I mean, thankfully it can land, I guess. Oof. The massive Nova does connect. And there we go. Vikings now starting to land. Because, I mean, what else can they do? Nice snipes. We get Archons. 2 Archons go down. Vikings, they're going for a waddle by. Fun fact, they'd be faster if they just flew and then landed, but it's fine. But you can see on the minimap they are waddling across up towards the gold. Yeah, they're waddling in. The waddle by is real. Does force a recall. Would you focus on one of those disruptors? Novas, they will connect. Vikings have to get the hell out of there. A lot of Vikings do go down. But again, ByuN is pulling hero apart. Bearing in mind, recall is now on cooldown. Now on cooldown. Ooh, we barely do snipe both those disruptors. Disruptors are sniped. High Templar, they just morphed in. They have no storm. The High Templar, they need time. Yeah, they're not ready. 1, 2. Ooh, storm just barely finishing up. We're just barely getting energy for storm, but yeah, we're gonna shut this down. The High Templar crumble. The base falls. And hero just cannot keep up. Not anymore. Not against what ByuN has. Again, it was a brutal fight earlier to kick things off when hero initially lost all of his carriers, when he overextended, when he got EMP'd specifically. And from that moment, ByuN had momentum. Oh, we punish the blinks. Nova's going off. We just lift the Vikings. Decent Novas here towards the end. So you get some good Novas. This hero does rotate towards the left-hand side. I mean, these disruptors have potential, but they're all on their own. The disruptors are exposed. The balls, they're wide open. And he goes for them. Goes to the disruptors. They all go down. I think 2 disruptors are left over. But at this point, ByuN can just rally across the map. Like there's very little finesse needed at this point, just because of how far ahead he is with his supply. Disruptors, they're getting back off of cooldown. And we just focus them down. Yeah, we just focus them down one after the other. 1 disruptor left. We have broken the goal base. And Hero's just been playing catch up this entire time, just trying to keep up, and having a hard time succeeding. A really hard time succeeding, and GG gets called. ByuN will take game number 1. Whew, GG. A very intense game, a very long game as well. We were able to embrace Sky Toss against Terran, something we don't often see. But in the end, ByuN did take it. He did snowball out of control. Again, it did come down to that massive fight outside of the 3rd base, outside of the 4th even, where ByuN was able to land some crucial EMPs on the High Templar, denied so many storms, and without storms, there was nothing stopping the Vikings from collapsing on the carriers. That was the big problem there. We needed support, whether it was storms, stalkers, or archons. We had very little archons and stalkers relying on those storms, and alas, the EMPs were brutal. And now we're jumping into game 2. We have ByuN for Shopify in the bottom right. In the top left, we have Hero for Weibo Gaming. GG. But very nicely done here out of ByuN, able to catch out the army and snowball from there. Now the pressure is on Hero to bounce back. The pressure is on. And we'll see if he can. As ByuN is going to be opening up back at home. Not going for any kind of crazy proxy. Bear that in mind, because it is not uncommon to see these players cheese each other out. Not uncommon. have ByuN going for his double gas opener. Okay, it's going to be double gases out of ByuN, going for a faster factory. I mean, we saw this in the last game, if you remember. It was double gas into a factory into a double expand. It was a crazy start in game 1 out of ByuN, and he did get away with it for the most part. Well, he got away with it. Hero instead tried to counter greed with greed. Was able to hold his own. We'll see what the plan is going to be this time for ByuN. See what the plan is going to be. So we are going to be settling in. Factory's on the way, reactor as well. We can go for reactor Reaper Hellion. We can go for initial mine drop as well. Even a Hellion drop. What do you have for us? What do you got? Likewise, here we're just going for a gate expand. Standard opener out of Hero. It's gate expand. To our natural setup. And it is going to be the add-on swap, but it is not going to be Reactored Reaper Hellion. It is going to be Reactored Cyclones. Interesting. Okay, that I was not quite expecting. It's going to be early Cyclone production out of ByuN. And we'll see if we commit into additional Cyclones, or if we go for Cyclone into Widowmine, for example. Curious. I'm curious. Probe gets shut down. This time Hero opening up Twilight Council, not Stargate. Is working towards Blink. And it looks like it is just going to be the initial 2 Cyclones. Moving out across the map, but we have 2 more on the way. Okay, ByuN. He's committing. ByuN is going to be committing here. That is going to be a second Rax as well before the Starport. Uh-oh. You know what that means. Rushing into Stim. Big scout though. Hero confirms what's going on, and he should throw down extra gateways. Should throw them down. Ooh, meanwhile, we get the lock on. 1 Stalker does fall. Big pickoff already here out of ByuN, and he's going for the 2nd Stalker. Shield battery is denied. That's a kill, not a cancel. Boys are being pulled. And Hero, he's in a lot of trouble. He's up against the wall, leading out more workers. You can see the reaction here on cams. Oof, not looking happy. And Death goes down across the map. We lose 8 probes. And we hold. ByuN backs off, but only for a moment. He's going to be reinforcing with extra Cyclones. Extra Cyclones have arrived. Here he's up to now 3 Stalkers against 4 Cyclones. Nice target fire. He gets 1. 1 Cyclone goes down. 2nd Cyclone as well. Ooh, trading out for a Stalker. Oh. And we do get a bit of a pause. Oh no! Now is not the time. Now is not the time for mass issues. Hopefully everything is okay, and hopefully we can fix it very quickly here. It's not a permanent issue or anything like that. So hopefully we're all good. But yeah, it looks like there was a bit of a mouse issue. And oh, are they jumping back in? Up. Yep. We do jump back in. Okay. Whew. Cyclones, they get some lock-ons. They take down 2 more Stalkers, down to 1. 1 Stalker left, and we barely hold the line. We clean up the... Oh my god, I say that. Cyclone barely escapes, but Hero holds. Oh, Hero does hold. Now, bearing in mind what I mentioned before, ByuN has thrown down extra Raxes. 3rd Rax has been thrown down. So ByuN has done a lot of damage early on. He didn't kill Hero, but he got a lot of economic damage, and he traded with the Stalkers. Now we're getting ready for Stim timing. This is the beginning of a 2-base all-in from ByuN. A big tank blow is going off. Oh my god, we barely do snipe that Cyclone. Clutch blink there from Hero. Does blink away. And ByuN, he's getting ready for his eventual move out. Meanwhile, Hero going for a Dark Shrine. Interesting. It's going to be a Dark Shrine follow-up here out of Hero. I do like this because the CC count is low. The 3rd base is going to be delayed here for ByuN. So scan's going to be limited. As the Observer does poke in. Now ByuN does set up a starport, so this tells us that it's not going to be a 2-base all-in. He's committed. He's going for a sim timing. That is true. But he's working on that next step. Starport is on the way. That's going to be for medevacs. And we'll keep an eye on ByuN to see if he throws down the third CC. See if he does expand. For now. Again, give Hero Blink and he can make some magic happen. Does get a Marine. Picks up a Marine. Do have a move out of ByuN. And does he pull the boys? Picking up more Marines. ByuN has the high ground. We'll siege up. Let's go for the siege. Catching a Stalker. One Stalker goes down. At the same time, Hero morphing in those DTs. We do have scans. Okay, we do have energy for scans. No turrets yet, but they're now on the way. The bait did finish for Hero. He's rushing into a disruptor first. Ooh, the scan is spent on the Observer. Observer gets caught out, but what about the DTs? As we have energy. Yeah, we're okay. We have energy for scans. But whether or not the army's in position, that's the question. As Hero, he's waiting for the move out. As soon as he sees that ByuN moves out across the map, then we pull the trigger. As Hero's getting a third base, he has his first disruptor, second disruptor's on the way. Okay, Hero does go for the main. But we have the scan. Hero not able to get anything. Does get some damage done on those Marauders, but no kill. No kill on the Marauders. DTs instead, they settle for a depot. It's something. They do get a depot. They force out one scan. Army's moving out. Still no third CC. Again, that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for an expansion from ByuN. There is none. He's moving out across the map. Disruptor getting in position. Oh, the Nova! Nova's go off! Up! Oh my god, massive connections! Disruptors, they will pay the price. They will go down, but that was worth it. Hero, he pops off with the disruptors. And ByuN is committed. He's stimming on forward. Overcharges while boys are being pulled. Another disruptor comes out, and we connect with the tank. Tank goes down, and Hero holds ByuN, shaking his head. Not happy, not content with the game state. DT wandering in. Forcing out another scan. I didn't need it anyway. The Hero. And he's holding. He's surviving. We live, Papi. Now we get a third CC out of ByuN, but this third base is so late. It's such a late third base here for ByuN. It is so delayed. ByuN going for a Hail Mary, going for a drop across the map, is spotted. And Hero, he's coming in. Never goes off. Up. I'll pick up. Does save the army, but I'll be focused on the medevacs. Medevacs, they are going to be targeted down. Handful of units to escape, handful of units to survive. But suddenly Hero's in the driver's seat. Bearing in mind that the production team even had a close-up on Hero shaking his head when he was almost dead. Like Hero, he was straight up almost dead then and there at the start of the game with the initial Cyclone aggression. But no, he lived, he survived, he persevered. And we're in this. We are back in this. Hero catching out the drop. Cleaning up the Marauders. ByuN attempting to recover. We'll take his third base. Remember, a very delayed third base here for ByuN. Takes his third as Hero's already throwing down the fourth. Blink on the way for the DTs. Shadow Stride on the horizon. Let's go. Shadow Stride is on the way. Is still being active. He's trying to stabilize, getting into ghost production, building up his Marines and Marauders. Unfortunately, ByuN doesn't really have any pushing power. He's looking for any kind of stray units here. Even a War Prison, for example. But DTs are waddling in. Thankfully, there is a turret. Do you have detection? We have a turret, but we have no army. Uh oh. Detection, what does it really mean if we have nothing to focus on the DTs? We get an SCV, we deny mining time. GT does waddle away. His reinforcements have arrived. But now we get the Zell drop into the main. The Prism will go down. Does get shut down by those turrets. But we get 7 SCVs in the main base. It's going to be worth it for Hero. Not worth the Prism necessarily, worth the Zelts at least. So still building up more disruptors. Hero moving out. Hero does move out. Keeping the army in check. Never going. No! Oh my god! Hero once again catching ByuN, not quite paying attention. Massive connection, another massive Nova. Ay, ay, ay. Forcing the pickup, and Hero, he's shutting this down quite hard. The drops are cleaned up. ByuN being forced back. Back. Ay, ay, ay. Hero is crazy. I think what's most impressive here about this game state, I mean, it was risky going for the disruptors, but he has not made a single Colossus. It's been purely disruptor this game, which is so risky, but it's been paying off so well for him. We get an EMP on the DTs. We do trade well. Drop at the same time towards the natural. Oh, the disruptors! They get caught out! And this is why it's risky. That was, what, 4 or 5 disruptors going down, but we cleaned up the main army nonetheless. Hero, he can afford these losses. That was not the best fight for Hero, but he takes it nonetheless. Brings down the main army. Loses most of his disruptors, but he still has 3 left over. That is enough to keep going, to keep pushing. 3 Novas, that's all we need. And now ByuN, he's up against the wall. Maestro going off, taking down the Zealots. Oh god. Medivacs are on the way back home. They're racing back. And Hero, he smells blood in the water. He knows how vulnerable ByuN is. And we commit. We just commit forward. Nova goes off, takes down the Widow Mines. Nothing to really connect there with. But no friendly fire, no splash damage. Delpha Hero, as he's came to the production, busts into the main base. And GG gets called. Hero ties it up 1-1. Whew. GG. Again, it was a brutal start for Hero. The production team was even having fun zooming in on Hero's face as things were just going from bad to worse. But no, Hero, he bounces back. GG, we tie it up 1-1. Whew. We do tie things up, and now we're getting ready for our next best of 2. We're going to be jumping into Scarlett versus Oliveira to determine who takes a lead in the series. Is going to be a ZVT. Is going to be the Zerg versus Terran. And we are getting ready. We have Scarlett on the left. We have Oliveira on the right. Right now we're tied up 1-1. And will we continue to tie up series, or will we take a lead for one of these 2 teams? As a reminder, it is a best of 7, and we're going to be loading into ByuN. Shout out to Scarlett with the iPhone cam. We got the black bars iPhone setup or phone setup. Here we go. We are jumping in, and sporting in the bottom left hand corner, we have Scarlett for Shopify, and in the top right we have Oliveira for Weibo Gaming. Let's go. We are settling in. Again, Oliveira has some killer TVZ. We were able to showcase that a couple of days ago in WTL, in, of course, the ESL Open Cups as well. Oliveira was able to pop off. I'm just quickly double checking. Who did Oliveira face off against? I think it was Lambo. I think Oliveira, yeah. Oliveira, he faced off against Lambo and was able to shut him down. That was, of course, in the Wardy TV Summer Bash that we did cast yesterday. So Oliveira did bring Lambo down. Likewise, he 2-0'd Rogue in recent weeks as well. And yeah, Oliveira's no slash. Oh right, it was ESL Asia this last week where Oliveira took down Solar 2-0. Again, he has been popping off, but we'll see what Scarlett has been cooking. We'll see. As likewise, Scarlett has also been improving over time. And we're settling in. Scarlett going for a hatch gas pull. Standard open out of Scarlett. Meanwhile, Oliveira back at home going for a Rax expand. Nothing too crazy yet. Nothing too crazy for the time being. As Oliveira is moving out with his initial SCV scout, trying to get a read on what's going on. Hatchery is about to finish. Oliveira just confirmed the hatch timing. And the Reaper moves out, ideally to delay the expansion. But the SCV comes back home, which means Scarlett will get the third. Third base is getting up and running. We're settling in. It's on Oliveira to maybe pick away at the Lings, pick away at the drones. Get some early game damage. As the Reaper has arrived, the dance has begun. Do dip in. Trading with the Lings. The Queen does pop out. We save all the Lings, we save all the drones, and Scarlett does defend quite nicely. We can see here that Oliveira wants that creep tumor. Scarlett throws it down at a safer location, very far back. But does throw it down. The tumor will survive. And now we can head towards the mid-game. Now, back at home, Oliveira is going for, that looks to be, yep, third CC. Third CC before Starport. Very economic follow-up out of Oliveira. Going for the 3 CC. Meanwhile, Scarlett is just going to be droning up, not taking any hard direction. There's no, like, early Roach Warren, no early gases. Standard setup so far out of Scarlett. Here's a standard setup. Reaper dips into the main. Scarlett's Queens are a bit out of position, so Lings are going down. Uh-oh. Lings are falling. Drones are under fire as well. And the Queen does hop out. Whew. Just in the nick of time. We get a kill on the Reaper. And Scarlett defends. Did cost Scarlett a couple of Lings. The Reaper goes down and does not scout the tech. That is an early Roach Warren. Roach Warren has been thrown down very early on. That was a sub 4 minute Roach Warren here out of Scarlett. That was what, like 330? 340 even? My god. So Scarlett is going to be bracing roaches early on, so far unscouted, and we'll see how hard we commit to the roaches. We go for a 9 roach timing. And do we drone up or do we commit? But now 4 roaches are on the way. Hellions move out. Queens are keeping up. Okay, it's going to be 7. Okay, we're going for a 7 roach push. Scarlett is not going all in. Scarlett is droning up. Skipped Ling speed for this initial roach aggression. So it's going to be 7 roaches. Meanwhile, Oliveira going for a Hellion drop into the main. But the roaches are revealed. And because the roaches have been revealed, most likely they will not move out across the map. Oliveira will be able to defend. So Oliveira is moving out with more Hellions, trying to pull Scarlett apart. See if Oliveira can. So Hellions are rotating towards the left, headed towards the natural. But the roaches are in position. Scarlett does defend. At the same time, dropping to the main. Likewise, Scarlett also rallying roaches to keep them on patrol. And Oliveira does not find a way in. Behind this, Scarlett taking up into a lair, droning. Ooh, does find a way into the natural though. Drone's getting roasted. Liberator as well does rock up. The drones are bunching up, but we only get 3 drones. Spore was in position. Liberator gets shut down. At the same time, we drop into the third base. The drones do line up. Oh my god, they get roasted. We get 7 drone kills. But we survive. We shut this down. That was still a lot of Hellions thrown away for those drones. It was almost a 1-to-1 trade. That could have been so much worse. Scarlett survives. Does survive. Behind this, we have an infestation on the way. It looks like this can be for infestors to support the roaches. I'm curious where we go from here, whether we invest into +1 range or +1 melee, as Evo Chambers just now finished up. And it's going to be range. Okay, so this can mean that maybe Scarlett is thinking about going from Roach Ravager into Hydra Lurker. I'm curious if that's the case. Oh, as we catch a lot of Overlords. And there it is. Hydrogen has been thrown down. So Scarlett is indeed going from Roach Ravager into Hydra Lurker. That is the plan. We'll see if we can get there. See if we can get there. As Scarlett is spreading creep. Setting up. He's going to be setting everything up. Likewise, droning as hard as possible, defending with a bare minimum of roaches. Lurker Den is on the way. We're taking up quite hard into those lurkers, or quite quickly, quite heavily. That does mean that Scarlett is going to be vulnerable to an earlier push. Oliveira does move out. Oh, this is not going to be an easy hold here for Scarlett. We only have a handful of roaches. And Oliveira is gaining ground, clears up a lot of creep, but doesn't commit. Ravagers, they finish morphing in, and Scarlett holds. Scarlett does hold on. Is going to have to respread a lot of creep, though. Likewise, Oliveira going for the 4th. Going for the 5th, even. Threading a drop into the main. Scarlett is in position. The queens are ready. And we zone those drops away. And because Oliveira is building up towards a later push, because he's taking a 4th base and getting into a 2nd or getting ready for additional factory production, does mean that Scarlett is getting away with taking up into lurkers. Was vulnerable for a time, but not as much anymore. I mean, the drop play continues. Basically, we're abusing the fact that Scarlett has limited anti-air. Does have a Hydrogen, but 0 Hydras. 0 Hydras, 0 anti-air, only queens. These drops have free reign. We got Vipers are now on the way. We're still hiding that Hydra tech. Ooh, and here comes the push. Here comes the move out, and it's going to hit like a truck. Files aren't quite connected. They take down a medevac. Not bad. Medevac does go down. The army is slipping on forward. We do start to step in. Files, they do graze the army, but we're going to lose every single roach. As I say that, though, never mind. They hold their own. Oh my god, the power of the roach. We hold the line. We force back Oliveira. And what does that mean? That means we get away with the lurker tech. The upgrades are finishing up. Now, Scarlett did make a wave of roaches behind this. So that does eat into her overall gas count. It does mean that we're not quite able to embrace Hydra Lurker yet. But that might be a good thing, because we do need to deal with this initial push. As Oliveira is going for a 2nd wave. But there's that much less support. Yeah, we can bully Oliveira back. Catching out the Marines, going for a big counterattack. Now, the remax from this point should be with Hydras. And there we can see 6 Hydras on the way. Hydras are in production. Tanks through siege. Vipers coming in though. We're getting ready for the yoinks. We got 1 tank. 1 tank goes down. 2nd Viper has arrived. And can we yoink another tank? Go for the Parabomb. Parabomb does connect. Ooh. Taking down a medevac. And as you can see here on the production tab, Hydras. Hydras are amassing. Lurkers are on the way. We're done with Roach Ravager. They did well though. The Roach Ravager did very well. Oliveira getting supply block. You can see Oliveira getting a little bit frustrated on cams there. And the supply block is brutal. Oliveira, his push is denied. And with that, Scarlett can now embrace the Hydras. The Lurker is now going into Ling production. Ling speed just began, which can mean we can just get completely out of Roach Ravager and into Lingbane Hydra Lurker Viper instead. Just refining our army. And again, Scarlett wants to get rid of these roaches. Nidus Swarm into the main. The roaches are a distraction. Late response, late reaction. GG gets called, and Scarlett takes game number 1. Let's go. Oliveira, he reacted too late. He noticed that Nidus Swarm too late. And what was in that Nidus? A wave of lurkers. And that is a kill move. That is a kill move, a kill shot into the main base. GG. Scarlett takes the lead. Scarlett does take a lead. Now it's going to be Oliveira's map of choice. For those that are curious, it is loser's pick. So Oliveira has to make a choice here. Where are we headed? Where are we dropping? Looks like it is going to be Oceanborn. Whew, okay. Oh god. that was intense, Pappy. That was intense. But we are getting ready. Game 2 is going to be Oceanborn. That is Oliveira's map of choice. And can Oliveira bring it back, or can Shopify take a further lead? Bearing in mind, it is now 2-1 in favor of Shopify Rebellion in this best of 7. Can Scarlett bring it home, or can Oliveira tie it up? Let's go. Whew. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Scarlett for Shopify. And in the top left, we have Oliveira for Weibo Gaming. Here we go. Go. As the drone is moving out, Scarlett going to be expanding. We'll take the low grad, or we'll just go for a hatch gas pull. Standard open out to Scarlett. Oliveira likewise going for a Rax expand as well. No 2 Rax Reaper, no proxy, no shenanigans. Not yet. And we'll see if Scarlett does embrace the roaches for a second time. Again, it was a bold move to invest and double down so heavily there on that roach play into the lurkers. I mean, what I will say, what was the most risky for Scarlett is delaying Hydra production for so long and staying on roaches for as long as she did. The pivotal moment in that game was when the armies clashed in the middle of the map, when Scarlett had the high ground, when Oliveira fought with unsieged tanks, and I was convinced that Oliveira was going to be able to break through the defensive line of roaches, but somehow, someway, Scarlett held the line. She had 1-1 upgrades. Again, the tanks were unsieged, the biles were decent, and I'm again a little bit in shock that how well that went for Scarlett. That was crazy. From that moment, Scarlett had map control and could do whatever she wanted. And it eventually snowballed out of control. Very impressive stuff, very impressive fights. And now we're calming things down, settling into game 2. Nothing crazy yet. We'll keep an eye out for the link speed timing. If we skip link speed again, could be a sign of roaches. Here we go. Could be a sign of roaches. As the first Reaper is moving out across the map, gonna hit that natural. Scarlett's ready, in position. Lings are under fire. The dance has begun. But so far, Scarlett does pull back the weakened Lings. The Queen pops out, and Scarlett defends. At the same time, Scarlett took the 3rd base, so we're getting into our 3-base setup. Creep is being spread. And Oliveira back at home is going for a 3cc build, not rushing into the 1-1-1. It's going to be 3cc before Starport. Economic follow-up here out of Oliveira. Meanwhile, Scarlett settling into her own standard game. And this time, link speed is on the way. This time we have link speed. This time we are not skipping it. We're not going into roaches. We have a very different approach. I mean, technically we could still go into roaches, but it would be inefficient. But I like the idea in a series, if you make use of roaches in such a way in game 1, to deviate away in game 2, right? To keep your opponent guessing and to mix up your builds, mix up your playstyles. So I do appreciate this out of Scarlett. Never mind. Roach Warren gets thrown down. Now, what's interesting about this Roach Warren is it is very different. The Roach Warren is at a similar timing here to the previous game, but this time it is hidden. Remember, last time it was actually a part of the wall at the natural. This time, because it's hidden, this could be an all-in. This could be a Ling Ravager all-in. Otherwise, why invest into Ling speed? Yeah, unless you want to make use of it. Unless you want to reinforce with Lings. So the previous game was more of a macro roach build from Scarlett. This time, I'm feeling the aggression. Meanwhile, that is Hyperflight Rotors. So 3cc into Banshee with Hyperflight Rotors on the way. Bold move here by Oliveira. Here come the roaches. Now, Scarlett is at 42 drones. 42 drones for Scarlett. She's on, I want to say, 3 gas saturation. 9 roaches on the way, and I don't think we're stopping. I don't think we're going to be stopping here. We have Overlords being thrown down. Queens is away. Yep, there come the Lings. It's an all-in. Here we go. It is an all-in. Otherwise, why get link speed, right? Why get link speed to reinforce, to send it across the map, to rally, to commit to the all-in? Ravagers are being morphed in. Overlords are on the way. It's all or nothing for Scarlett. And Oliveira has no idea. Oliveira's in the dark. For now. Oliveira is in the dark. Still has not gotten eyes on the roaches or the ravagers. Lings are on the way. And now he knows. He spotted. He does spot the army. He's racing back. He needs a wall. He needs to wall off as quickly as possible. Depot's on the way. Hellions do make it back. So far, so good. If these Hellions were caught on the wrong side of the wall, that could be GG. That could just be game. But the Hellions, they do make it back. Banshee focuses on the Ravager, and we evacuate. Oliveira, he's so quick to evacuate the low ground. Gives up on the CC, gives up on the natural. Some of the SCVs are left behind. They got to fall. And now we can try to knock down that initial wall. Files do connect. Depot's getting low. And Scarlett's droning. Scarlett's droning up. She recognized she cannot break Oliveira. She cannot kill him. So she's racing back and she's droning up. Now, this was an okay amount of damage. This does supply block Oliveira. So he's supply blocked. He lost 6 SCVs. He was on 1 base economy. That was an okay amount of damage. The problem is that Oliveira, one, has Banshee's a counterattack with Banshee speed, and has a 3rd CC. 3rd CC is done. We can make 3 SCVs at a time. We have triple mule production as well. Oliveira, despite losing those workers, is still in this economically. We still have a back and forth. And Scarlett needs to survive the Banshee counterattack. Ooh, as we hit the 3rd base, drones are going down. So much damage being done. We get 3 drone kills, we get 4, we get 5. 5 drone kills already, and no Spore in the main. Oh my god, the Banshees! The Banshees are getting so much counter damage done. 11 drone kills. Almost a full mineral line. Almost a full mineral line goes down. And Scarlett is in trouble. Remember, Scarlett has a drone lead currently, that is true. But Oliveira is going to be real quick to catch up, as the 3rd base is already on location. We're muling hard. The SimCity is a little bit disorganized, but it's fine. But it looks like Oliveira is getting ready for an 8 racks. 3 more racks is thrown down. We'll keep an eye on the gas count of Oliveira. But he may just follow this up with a 3 base all-in, which would make a lot of sense. Especially if Scarlett is droning. Scarlett starting up 1-1. Bailey Nest on the way. Infestation mid as well. Looks like Scarlett's trying to transition into Ling Bane. I'm lacking the Infestors. I think this is really smart. Honestly, I think it's necessary. Infestors are on the way. Scarlett knows that she's vulnerable. She knows that there's no bathing speed. There's no bathings currently. If a bio army moved out, it could just end the game. Infestors will support Scarlett, will allow her to actually get into the mid game and actually get into a decent army composition. Will help survive. So again, really crucial here that the Infestors are coming out. Fungal growths are going to be available. Without Fungals, this double drop could get out of hand. Especially without Banelings. And the drop is coming in. Meanwhile, we can see Oliveira double down and hunker down on 3 bases. Drop is revealed. Going for the base. Looking for a cancel. And we're going to force it. We're going to force the cancel. Yeah, the 4th base is denied. Army was out of position. Scarlett knocked down to 3 bases. Massive pickoff. At this point, it might be wise. We might have to double expand. At this point, we might just have to double expand for Scarlett. Just to get a base up and running. Speaking of double expanding, Oliveira, he's here to deny the 5th. This time Scarlett in position, and here comes the move out. Here we go. The 8 racks is upon us. Oliveira, he's making 12 Marines at a time. That is crazy. That is an insane army. And it's all or nothing for Oliveira. Has a massive supply lead. Massive army supply lead. But there is a lot of creep. The creep is going to buy time. It is giving Scarlett some time, but we just don't care about the creep. We're just pushing in. Fungal does connect. Files as well. Not a bad start, but we have a massive wave of Marines barreling down the map. We deny the expansion. And Scarlett is up against the wall, is in a lot of trouble. The ARAX is here. Bathing speed is done. And we roll on in. Big tank shots going off. The spread is good. We shut down the Ling Bane. And Oliveira has done it. Oliveira breaking on through. GG gets called, and Oliveira ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, Scarlett was vulnerable. The all-in failed for Scarlett, and the best thing for Oliveira to do was to go for his own 3-base all-in, to go for his own 8 racks. And with that, we're tied up. We're tied up 2-2. GG, well played. And now it all comes down to a ZVZ. Lambo versus Su. This is going to be an interesting one. Su is not the most active of players anymore. He's not the most active of players. Su, he is the Dark replacement. Dark, of course, he left DKZ, joined Talon Esports at the start of the year, and Su has been subbing in essentially. And how does Su compare to Lambo? Honestly, I think I want to favor Lambo here. If we can get a 2-0, the series will end. If we can tie things up 1-1, we're going to the ace match. Here we go. So jumping into game 1 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Amphion, we have Lambo for Shopify. And in the bottom left, we have Su for Weibo Gaming. Su looks tired. Jeez. He was yawning earlier, and it looks like he's like, a little bit degen. A little bit. He either just woke up or he's about to go to bed. One of the two. But here we go. We have our final best of 2 of the night. As the ace match would be a best of 1. So, final best of 2. For now, hatch first. We're going to be opening up hatch gas pool. Amphion is not a bad map to open up 2 base. When it comes to this map, of course, we have a ramp coming into the natural. So the ramp can be very defendable. So we could see some 2 base play out of either player. Otherwise, we could try to expand towards the triangular 3rd base instead. That is also an option. We'll see if that's what we embrace. Keep an eye on our players. When it came to the last game, again, it was so important, so crucial that Oliveira was able to confirm the all-in ahead of time, was able to race back home and prepare, able to evacuate the natural, so he barely lost any SCVs. I think it was 6 SCVs against the all-in. So it was a risky maneuver there out of Scarlett. Did not pay off in the end, but a 1-1 score is, it's not a bad outcome. Especially considering how on fire Oliveira has been. But now we're settling into the ZVZ. So far, hatch gas pool, standard openers, mirrored builds. Overlord does confirm the hatch timing, so we're fully aware of what's going on. We are aware. And we'll see if we go for a 3rd base. That's kind of the first tell here, is if either player skips the 3rd. But now we're droning, Link speed is on the way. We'll be pulling out. Initial scouting lanes are moving out for Lambo. Same can be said for Su. Just to be keeping tabs, scouting each other, getting a read what's going on. And it looks like, yeah, both Su and Lambo are taking their 3rd bases. They are expanding. We are going to be expanding, which means we're going to be embracing Ling Bane. Ling Bane aggression here is on the table. Is going to be available here for both Lambo and Su. There it is, Bane and Nissa on the way. And the Ling Bane wars are about to begin. About to begin. As Lings are still being active on the map, we do have a handful of Lings on the production tab, but that's really only for safety. I'm keeping my eye out for any kind of Ling flood, any big Ling surge. Lings on the way for Lambo. Roach Warren has been thrown down. So Lambo does embrace the Roach Warren, getting a full scout of the main. Does get eyes on what Su's up to. But this early Roach Warren is a bit of a tell. Meanwhile, Su going for a bit of a more standard Roach Warren timing. Roach Warren and the Evo Chamber. We'll see if Lambo does commit here to Roach production, does commit to a move out. But now Su does get across the map. He's going for the Queen. Yeah, Queen is under fire, and the Queen will fall. Oh, Bailey barely does miss. Bailey doesn't connect, and Su, he shuts down the mineral line. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, we break through the queen. We get one queen. We're going to get a second queen as well. Just unfortunately some miscontrol there from the bailing of Lambo. He missed his chance. He missed his shots. As a result, lost 2 queens, 4 drones, and even a 5th drone as well. Oof. And with that, Su has done well for himself. It's actually still down in drones. That's just how many links he did create, did invest into. Oh no! Oh my god! As Lambo takes a bailing to the face as well, and Su is all over this. Moving out across the map, Lambo has to evacuate his third base. He is in a lot of trouble. And can we even get a kill in the third? Queen is going to be surrounded. We catch the lings. The roaches are on the way. Yeah, we do collapse on the hatchery. Roaches in production, but can we get a kill? Oh! Bailings, they trade 1-1. They trade with each other, but that is going to be a kill in the hatchery. Su popping up. Ooh. Su, it's going to be his turn to take a bailing to the face. As Lambo does barely keep his second bailing alive. So Lambo does have a bit of a better trade towards the tail end of that fight, but he lost so much. Lambo, he's been losing queens, losing bases, losing drones, and Su is in the driver's seat. Su is now solidly here in the driver's seat. Getting into his own roach production, +1 range is quite far ahead here for Su as well. So there's going to be a +1 advantage lead, or it's going to be that 1 upgrade lead for Su. And now we're pushing. Now we're going for a massive counterattack. And Lambo, he's in trouble right now. I'm not so sure how he can survive this. Maybe if he can bring together his queens, if he has a transfuse. Maybe, but outside of that, Su has a massive supply lead. In a mirror matchup, it's difficult to really overcome these disadvantages. It's difficult to overcome these deficits. As Su stutter steps forward, gets us over the roaches. Takes down the queen, takes down both queens. And GG gets called. Su will snowball out of control and will take game number 1. GG. Su will take the first game here. Again, just a really unfortunate Ling Bane control micro there from Lambo. He didn't miss. There was an opportunity for the Bailing to connect with the Lings of Su. Unfortunately, it didn't quite occur, and Su did overwhelm. And very quickly, things went from bad to worse. Led to the death of that hatchery. And with that, Lambo, he is up against the wall. We have to fight back here and now to force the ace match. If Lambo can take this win, then we can force a final Game 7. Meanwhile, Su needs one more game to win it all for himself and for his team. Here we go. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have Lambo for Shopify. And in the top left, we have Su for Weibo Gaming. Here we go. Here we go, as we do have our initial openers. Going to be joining up. No crazy 12 pool shenanigans. Not this time. Going to be joining up, going to be expanding. One of the big features here of this map are not really going to come into play. It's not going to really come into play here, where on Amphion we had the ramp coming into the natural, so we could maybe play off of 2 bases. But here, none of the sort. We can open up hatch gas pool. We should be working towards our 3rd bases. And we'll see if either player throws down earlier tech, and this may once again come down to the Ling Bane control. May come down to it. Oh boy. As we are going to be moving out. Parallels do spread, we're just going to be joining up, settling into our early game. No major deviations, no crazy tech or crazy build order. We're calming things down for now. And the pressure is on Lambo. I want to believe he can bounce back. I want to believe. I'd love to see an ace match here. Maybe even a rematch between ByuN and Hero. Maybe a wild card and Scarlett comes out. Oliveira comes out for a rematch as well. That'd be amazing. That's the downside of these best of twos, is that if we're tied up 1-1, it's like, oh, we're deprived an ace match, you know? In a solid best of 3. You're like, bring it back, Papi. Give us an ace match. Oh my god, we're rushing to a lair! Lambo. He's playing 2 base. Okay. So Lambo, he's rushing into a lair, he's going to be walling off. He's going to be walling off the natural, playing 2 base instead. And meanwhile, Su is taking a third. So Su will have the economic advantage. Lambo is going to skip Ling Bane and embrace roaches. This does make sense, especially if our Ling Bane control was a little bit lacking in the previous game. Lambo is going to be skipping Ling Bane entirely here and embracing the roach. Here we go. We'll be embracing the roach instead. Means to do one out. And of course, Su does confirm. Su is fully aware of what's going on. We have +1 range on the way, so we'll confirm roach production. Technically, this could be a fake out, and Lambo could be going into like Spire Tech and rushing into 2-base Muta. But now we confirm the roach one researching, so Su is fully aware of where the gas is being spent. Su is aware. Back at home, working towards +1 carapace. Is going to benefit both his lings and his roaches, bearing in mind that Su will have a lower roach count to work with, but a higher ling count. Has to bring it all together. So roaches are amassing for Lambo. And Su is backing off and droning up. Now, Su has to be careful to over-drone because Lambo's going for an all-in. I don't know if you noticed, but Lambo, it's not just 2-base roach. He's not like settling into a 3rd base and macroing. It's an all-in. We're cutting workers early on at 29, so it's going to be a straight-up 2-base all-in out of Lambo. The drone moves out to expand, but this is really just for show. It's just for show. The queens are waddling out, so they're knocking down those overlords. Creep is being spread, and we are committing to the 2-base all-in. Su checking for the 3rd base, and will confirm. He will confirm there is no 3rd, there is no expansion. Gets eyes on the roaches. And now Su, he has to prepare back at home. He's supply blocked! Uh-oh, Su is supply blocked. 5 overlords in production. Roaches are amassing. We might even have to throw down spine crawlers. For now, it's just going to be the roaches and the lings. As Lambo's committed, Su morphing in Ravagers. He's going to be working with Ling Ravager instead. His goal is to get a surround on the army of Lambo and connect with those biles. As the queens lead the charge, roaches have arrived. Army supplies are quite similar with each other. Su did drone up to 2-base saturation. Did drone up. Getting on top of the queens. Queens are surrounded. And the queens are going down. Biles, they zone away those roaches, but so far a good start for Su. Just down the queens, but Lambo is getting on top of the rest of the army. Not the Biles. Yeah, Biles won't quite connect. We focus on the Ravagers, and Lambo, he is breaking through. And Su, was he a little bit too greedy? Did he drone up too much? Lings are coming in to reinforce. They're barely trickling in. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Su, and Su, he can give up on the 3rd. He can give up on the 3rd base. We may even have to pull the boys. As more Lings are trickling in. Again, Lambo, he's running out of steam. He's running out of roaches. The final queen is going to go down. And the final queen does fall, but Lambo does rock up with reinforcements. Has double the roach count. But barely cannot break through. Getting on top of the army. Getting on top of the roaches. Again, the defender's advantage kicking in for Su, and it looks like he's barely squeezing out more roaches. It's close. Ah. It is getting close. And Su, it looks like, yeah, he's holding. He's barely holding on. The queen survives. More roaches pop out, and Lambo, he's out of army. He's out of army. He's out of roaches. He barely does not break Su. Didn't have to fool the boys. Just with the Ling Roach Queen. Su does hold on. With his macro, with his reinforcements. And Lambo, he's down so heavily. He's got 28 drones to the 42 of Su. Remember, Su did not lose a single drone. He's on 2-base saturation. And now Lambo is droning. And what I'm concerned about is the follow-up. Su, he's working towards the lair. He's building up more roaches. Lambo does have the lair, so we can get into +2 range. True. Does have the upgrade advantage. And does pick up some drones. He slips into the mineral line. Not bad. Oh my god. Lambo, he gets into the natural, gets into the third base as well. 14 drones go down. We cripple the economy of Su. Very nice. Even getting into the main. Oh my god. Lambo, calm down. And just like that, Lambo, he ties up the worker count. Does have the workers, but he's still down in roaches. Even though the worker count is even now, it wasn't for a long time. And Su was able to build up a bank, is able to spend it, and now is moving out with a massive roach army, a massive counterattack. Su is pushing. And Lambo, can he survive this? How the turns have tabled. Now, Su doesn't have roach speed. The roaches are slower. They're slower to reinforce, slower to move out. Getting on top of the third, getting on top of the main army. Queens are exposed. The queens are going down. Files, they zone back the main army as well. Good use of the vials. Ravagers are going to be targeted down. But the roach army of Su is breaking through. We break through the queens. We zone away the army. We're getting into the mineral line. And now it's Lambo's turn to lose drones. Yeah, workers are falling. Boys are being pulled. Drones that Lambo can't afford to lose. Behind this, Su has been droning up. Su has been re-droning. Takes a worker lead. And can now start roach production again. How the pendulum swings from one player to the other. See chat, sleepy Su still couldn't. He was sleepy. He was. But now we have a hefty roach army. Lambo going for a counterattack. He has the upgrade advantage. He has +2. He has +2 over the 1-0 of Su. But has half the roach army. Half the roach count. And Su now has roach speed. Okay, he's moving out across the map. He's got lanes. He's got roaches. Su is chasing Lambo down. And things are looking a little bit bleak here for Lambo. GG gets called. We don't even get the final fight, as Su will take the series 2-0 and will win it all for Weibo Gaming. Oh, his eyes are open. He's like, I'm awake. Look at my eyes. Wide awake, Papi. GG, well played. Whew. Su does take it here in the end, and Weibo Gaming will take the 4-2 over Shopify. GG, well played. A lot of 4-2s here tonight, and again, 4-2 does not really do it justice. We had a lot of close games, a lot of close series. Did come down to one player in both lineups to get the 2-0. It was Hero Marine, Big Gabe for offside earlier against Berserker, and here it was Su against Shopify. So congratulations to Weibo Gaming. They will take the win, and they will take a lead in the standings. Remember earlier, I did mention that Weibo Gaming and Shopify are pretty tied. They are both tied up 7-2 in their overall standings in the bracket, in the round robin stage. But with this, DKZ take a solid lead over Shopify. And now we can have a look at the settings themselves. Let's quickly zoom in here. Bam, we have Team Vitality as number 1, Bassus is number 2, followed by Weibo Gaming, Team Liquid. Shopify got knocked down 2 places. Shopify now down to 5th place, followed by Psystorm Na'Vi as the top 6. And then we have our next 6 teams. Platinum Heroes, Mystery All Gamers, Twisted Fairy, Offside Esports, Starlight Twinkle, and Berserker Esports as well at the bottom of the standings. Oh boy, as a reminder, it is top 8. Top 8 make it into the next round, into the playoffs. And we have 1 week left. This was week 10, and we have week 11 to close everything out. For those curious, it's going to be Basilisk versus Berserker, Platinum R8 versus Offside, Twisted Fairy versus Mystery All Gamers, Psystorm Na'Vi versus Weibo Gaming. It's going to be an amazing series. Team Liquid versus Team Vitality. That's going to be a banger. Team Liquid versus Team Vitality. That is a rematch of the finals of last season's WTL. That is going to be a rematch. I do look forward to it. And Starlight Twinkle versus Shopify Rebellion. So we have some amazing matches coming up in the final week of the round robin group stage. Be sure you're a part of it. I mean, the round robin stage is about to finish up, and once it does wrap up, the playoffs will be upon us. I don't know if there's a date set for the playoffs. Let me just double check. The playoffs will be a weekend full of StarCraft, and they are set for the undetermined. I think there is like some numbers out there. The first, actually, I think in like 2 weeks. I think it's the first week of July. Sorry, first week of August, what I meant to say. We're in July. So, yeah, make sure you tune in to the playoff brackets when we do get there. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. It was a long broadcast. We went over the Sparkling Tuna Cup as well as World Team League WTL. Oh, this was a 2-0 in favor of Sue. But GG, well played. Hope everyone had a great time. It was a, how many? 7-hour cast. 7-hour cast, Papi. Let's go. We're now done here for the night. We'll be back tomorrow with ESL Open Cup Asia. ESL Asia's tomorrow, ESL America's the day after, and Kung Fu Cup the day after that. So plenty of StarCraft coming up, plenty of StarCraft ahead of us. If you enjoyed the broadcast, if you want some more CranKy Duckling action, then check us out over on YouTube, over on all the social medias. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings if you want to be notified when we go live. If you want some VOD content, if you cannot watch live, but you are interested in some of these matches and some of these broadcasts, check them out on Twitch and YouTube. VODs are available. VODs are all there. Check out those VODs if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you for watching. It is 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm starving. I'm going to go get some food. It's been 7 hours. I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to go get some rest, and we'll be back tomorrow to do it all again. Now, there was a series that we missed for WTL. We missed out on Team Vitality versus Mystery All Gamers. We did miss out on that, so I will most likely catch up tomorrow after ESL Asia. So ESL Asia is going to be first, and then we'll do a catch-up stream of WTL. That'll be the plan, to catch up on World Team League. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, we'll see you guys tomorrow for ESL Open Cup Asia for some of that Korean on Korean StarCraft. I say that. Remember, Clem is in Korea, Astrea's in Korea, Trigger and Future as well. All 4 of them are in Korea, which means they've been playing in these ESL Asias on a weekly basis. They've been playing in ESL Asia, in Kung Fu Cup, in KSL as well. So we will have some NA and some EU representation in this week's tournament. Make sure you're a part of it. Make sure you're there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Until then, ciao. Bye. Ciao. See you tomorrow. Hasta luego.